we'll go ahead and get started. First thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you everybody for attending tonight. First thing on the docket is the approval of the February 22 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month? Or for February?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion to approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is the approval of the February and March financial report. Any questions about any of the charges? So I just wanted to thank Buffy. As you can see, you can look. We either have a check or an ACH or deposit in each line item. Everything is broken down, shows specifically what the charge is. If you don't see the description or don't understand the description, if you need more clarification, let me know. It's pretty cut and dry. We have tried to minimize our overhead and our expenditures here for the last 90 days, and I think we've done a phenomenal job. As you can see on the this document right here, general account operating is $207,000, $207,530.59 to be exact. The school museum is still at $1,000. Everybody remembers how we got to the 1,000 because it was 800 some, and then we transferred from the general operating to make it 1,000. Splosh account is $11K. FEMA is $1,884, and the American Rescue Plan $13,257. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve February and March's financial?
I motion to approve February and March's financial accounting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, next is a summary of the maintenance for the last couple months. Jerry?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Jerry, stand up. For you guys that are not aware, Jerry Wright is our maintenance guy. He's been our maintenance guy for a couple years now, so just give us an idea
what's going on. I've just been working on the faucets over at the park and just getting ready to mow.
Okay, wanted to thank Jerry publicly. He's the one that did all the installs for all the improvements here in the building. I appreciate that. Okay, anything else? Anything for Jerry?
We also had someone call about a broken swing, and I texted him, and he went right up there and
Yeah.
fixed it. So.
I appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. Okay. Next, public appearance. So this is the opportunity for anybody who is joining our meeting today to ask any questions, address the council. You have a couple minutes to do it. So is there any questions, comments from anybody in the council?
I have several things to discuss with you. Like I said before the meeting, I still think it's a conflict of interest for Tony Hawf to be the building inspector, since he is a builder and he already has one project going on in Talking Rock. Second is, this is not a dictatorship. The charges for the renting the pavilion and the community room were set by the town council years ago, but yet somebody took it on themselves to just change it and publish it without it going before the council, that's not allowed. There's a lot of things that are getting done and it's not going before the council, and that is not correct.
What do you mean by that specifically?
Well, and another question is, why are we paying, did we pay so much for security cameras when we already had the cameras? All we needed was the monitor. And Randy had informed y'all that we already had the cameras and that the monitor got destroyed in the flood. But yet y'all went ahead and spent, what, $4,000 or $5,000 to do it all over again?
It was 5,000.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
So
voted.
that's, yeah, you may have voted
Yeah,
on
we
it,
voted
but
on
that's
it.
a waste of money when we already had the cameras.
We've already voted on, discussed it, we already passed it.
Well, we're not past it when the people in the community are calling me wanting to know why their money is being spent when it shouldn't be. Okay? Second is when you decide to make changes and you're making them before the local paper comes out, you can't do that because not everybody in this town has social media accounts.
What changes are you talking about?
When you changed about the recycling. A lot of people brought their stuff down here because you stopped here on Sunday. The paper didn't come out until the following week, and these people didn't know it.
So we put it out on social media, what, about 5 or 6 days?
They don't
We said
have
we were gonna
social
carry it,
media.
so then I apologize, we're not able to get it across to everybody.
Okay, then don't stop it until after the
We
local
did
paper
it
comes
for
out.
5 days.
Okay, but a lot of people come down on Sunday and it was already gone.
You are bringing up stuff that's 2 months old
Well,
now.
I'm bringing up stuff that people in the community are upset about.
Well,
Okay?
then I invite the people from the community to
Well,
come down
some people
the
have to
meeting.
work. They can't be here when you're having meetings. Okay?
Listen,
I'll be glad
Cheryl,
to
I'm not
do
going to
that.
continue to do it. You're finished talking. You're
No, I'm
finished
not.
talking.
The next thing I
You're
have is I
finished
have a
talking.
question for you.
You're finished talking. If you continue talking, I'm going to ask you to leave. Say one other word and I'll ask you to leave. Anybody else like to say anything? Okay, from here on out, we'll continue with the council, okay? All right, thank you. Old business. We talked about this last month. We talked about it in the working group for the lawnmower. I've already stated my case. I've researched the lawnmower. I feel like we've got a great deal at Home Depot here in Jasper. There's a John Deere lawnmower. It's a 54-inch lawnmower. With our maintenance program that we've set up with Jerry right now, we agreed that we would pay for the lawnmower. Jerry will keep track of the usage of the fuel, provide us receipts, we'll reimburse him on that, and that's not a part of the money that he receives for his services. The cost that's set in the working group for that John Deere is roughly $4,500. I'm authorized to use my military discounts, so that's $400 off the max. So it's roughly with tax, it'll be about $4,300. I just talked, just verified. If there's any issues, I'll double check with the warranty since this is a commercial use. I recommend we forego that. We can do our service plans, the one I was talking about over at Cartersville, the great service plan for that. We're normally going to have to keep an upkeep on that every year anyway. I do it personally with mine. I'm sure you guys do with yours. But we need to move forward with this, so that's what I'd like to do. So if I have anybody who'd like to have a motion to make for approval of the lawnmower.
Make a motion that we approve the lawnmower purchase for the
Do I have a second? All right, all in favor? Okay. How that's going to work is Buffy will provide me a check. Once I purchase it, I'll take it upon myself to get it over here. Jerry, after this, if I can talk to you about that, then I'll bring the receipts, and then we'll identify it exactly next meeting on exactly what the cost was. Okay. All right, next order is the beautifications and improvements for the town. This is something that I asked Tony to chair this. Take a look at that. You have that list. And Buffy just printed it out. Tony, I can just go over that you take the lead
Yeah, a
on?
lot of this is outside the DOT area where we're talking about putting sidewalks and streetlights and all that stuff because, and I think there may be a line item on here for getting, well, I thought there was a line item on here for getting like a survey to get that started. You gotta have a survey, you gotta have it all drawn on there, submitted to DOT before you can do all those kind of items. So this is just kind of beautification of the area, mainly in front of the train cars. And it's, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here. I don't know if you guys had time to look over it. I know some of you have already maybe seen it. But I just put some estimated prices of what it was gonna cost. And the idea is, I think I walked through most of, kind of walked through with it to show you exactly what we're talking about. But there's just there's a lot of things that are dangerous over there that needs to be fixed. The step going up to the deck, that's not the code, it's too short, needs a handrail on it. People complain about that. We have people falling on the little makeshift walkway that we got going from the parking lot because it's all up and down and rickety, that we've had people trip on that. We had somebody drive into the, where the septic tanks are. They drove into the hole where the sewer comes into the septic tank from the bathroom. Their car actually went in there. They had to get towed out of it. And they ran over our septic tanks. We need parking blocks in front of it. We need to get all that stuff cleaned up. Most of it's in here. Described in here. You guys look at it and see what you think.
So some of the other improvements, I don't see it on here, as we were talking about the lights, the
The streetlights.
streetlights.
Well, the streetlights, as I said, that's all gotta go through the DOT. We have to get a survey downtown. We gotta draw what we want on it and submit it to them. So that's why none of that is on here, because that's,
Has there been any discussion or contact with that lady that you guys had met when you were at the?
well, no, but,
I've reached out to her 2 times, and I haven't heard back. I was going to try to reach out to her again tomorrow. And I just spoke with Mr. Suttles. He is going to be seeing her on Monday. And he said that on our behalf, he would ask if she would reach out to us. And
she's looking at some projects.
yeah, she's having
Yeah, we're wanting to do these improvements for improving our tourism. It's, as you can tell, just in the last year or so, it's increased a lot of the traffic that's down here in downtown. We want to make it safe. We want to make it in state compliance with our handicap, things like that for front of the building. And we just want to improve over the aesthetics of the town itself. So these are initiatives that I think
She's with the Georgia Cities Foundation, Cindy Eisen.
Cindy,
Yes. And she sounded very excited about it.
All right, so I think we should just continue with this. I'm gonna let you continue with that, chairing that, and we talk about that here within the next month and in our next working group. But I would like to prioritize these things and start bringing them towards the council to see what initiatives that we can move forward. If they're not everything at once, what are the priorities if we decide? Okay. Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, I didn't know what we voted on the budget for it or how that was.
Yeah, I think to make this official, and we're talking, this is May, so April, May, I think we're still good if we have a working group to identify that, and prioritize that, and bring it to the council if you guys want to do a budget approval. I think it's reasonable. I just want to buy in with everybody, unless everybody on the council members. And then see if we can talk to Cindy and see if she can assist, and if not, if Green can, what we can do to see what
And the survey is mentioned in the email, it says up to $1,000.
Oh, is that what it said? Yeah. Well, because that's the first thing we'd have to do to get that going. And then, and I feel like we can only get grants for that. At least get a lot of help with it.
Yeah, what's the status on the grant that said that we're not in compliance?
What's that about?
Working to get it all together.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. It's all
Whatever that
film.
was.
It's all.
Okay. All right, so any more discussion or questions? Okay. Next is the, we talked about it just in the working group, is the town would like to move forward with the possibility of providing the opportunity to conduct a farmer's market. As you can see in the town of Jasper, they have the same thing, so I've asked Mary to take a look at that, and I'm sorry, not Mary, Steve, to take a look at that and see how we can move forward here within the spring and summer months, May, June, July.
I'll be working next week, starting Saturday with the local farmers market and the Georgia Extension.
If
And
they're,
the Master Gardeners Club,
okay,
about what it takes to set one up,
okay,
like Jasper's.
all right. And Steve, please remind everybody where you work, where you're located at.
I'm at Shadow Creek.
Okay. So if anybody from the town is interested or have any recommendations, comments, or anything, please reach out to Steve Lewis or reach out to Buffy, our town clerk. Just provide us any information, and then we'll see how we can do to get this started. Okay. Anything else? Oh, last updates on Heritage Days?
Sure. So as you know, a committee was formed. We have included Tony and myself, members of the local businesses of Talking Rock, and community members are represented on the planning committee. We've sent out the vendor applications via USPS and email. Applications are coming in. We have several vendors have already signed up and paid. We have some commitments for food vendors. We have, well, let's see here. Food vendors are already coming in. We have commitments for entertainment as well. We are adding a couple events, a duck race, silent auction, and raffle. Proceeds of these new events are going to be donated to 2 local charities. We've identified Pickens Animal Rescue, the Rescue Ranch, and the Joy House. They've accepted our invitation. They are going to be displaying their organizations, giving information about their organizations at the event. The Animal Rescue may bring a couple animals that are available for adoption, and they're very excited, very appreciative. We're well on our way to plan out the duck race and the events. We're working on sponsorship. We have all of the materials prepared to seek sponsorship for the event, and to seek the silent auction and raffle items. And that's about it. We're well on our way to planning a really exciting event this year.
Who's some of the people that's been helping you since this has started?
So the Hawfs, Tony is on the committee, as well as Mary Hawf, Mary and Mark McDonald, Audrey and Steve Lewis. Stephanie McBride is a Talking Rock resident, as well as Debbie Nordest and Jean Bryant.
Awesome. Yeah, these folks have been doing phenomenal since we've kicked this off, and I can't say how much. I mean, they work and get together once a week and really planned a lot of things. I'm really looking forward to it, but a lot of appreciation for the hard work and the efforts for several people that have got involved in this and have really kicked it off, so really excited for it.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, we're also going to have a sunrise service on Sunday morning. That's another new event that I think people are very excited about.
We're excited. Get the caboose painted nice and red, it'd be nice.
Oh, I did, somebody said they'd do the lettering one for $150.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like we can probably get people together to paint the red.
Yeah, it'll be the first thing we do, get done, so awesome. Anything else? No? Okay, awesome, thank you, Mary. Okay, new business. Since Jeff, I'll contact Jeff tomorrow. I have a question about, we were going to discuss about our situation with our building inspector. Can you just give a brief overview, the gentleman that was doing it before?
Well, yeah, Willie, the guy that was doing it before, he, apparently he's got some medical issues where he's not gonna be able to do it anymore. He's got hurt on one of the sites, and I spoke with his wife, and she said that he will no longer be able to come out to do it.
Yeah, and so for the record, I had asked, myself as the mayor pro temp, I had asked if Tony could help and assist with that, and I'll verify that. I'll speak with Jeff and see what my my responsibilities are and how we can do that adequately. And then I'll get some recommendations from our Pickens County and our neighboring cities. Next is Wildcat Timber Representative, that is David.
Is me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I had asked David and Wesley wasn't able to attend today. They just wanted to give an overview of some future buildings here in the town.
So I'm gonna set a plan out over here for you guys to look at. But just to kind of a brief overview, we are planning to submit here in the near future, couple of weeks, a 21 lot development between 136 and Fisher Creek Road. The total development is 222 acres between 21 lots. Lot size averaging 6.5 to 22 acres. That would be serviced by a private road, managed by a POA, and all within the conformity of the town ordinance and code. So we just wanted to come tonight, introduce ourselves, and ask any questions that there may be, and just kind of letting everybody know that, making it aware this is kind of coming down the pipe, so to speak.
And potentially starting when?
I mean, we plan to, our goal is to submit plans in the next 30 days to your office.
This is the basics infrastructure, so then you're able to advertise and promote the lots.
Correct. So lots will be for sale. We wouldn't be building. They would go out to the public, and then they would bring your own builder, so to speak, with kind of the guidelines of the architectural guidelines set by the covenants and restrictions through the BOA.
Did you say where this was going to be located at?
So there's a parcel. It's 220 acres roughly between 136 and Fisher Creek Road. It's about a mile north of here, east. Gorgeous piece of property by a couple of, there's some new development, new houses kind of driving out there today. So I think it'll be very appealing.
And the traffic flow, and there are a couple accesses in and out?
The main access will be off Fisher Creek. There is a parcel, we are not going to be extending it to 136, so it's just going to be a one entry, but you'll have different accesses coming off of 136, so you can come north or south to hit Fisher Creek, but it won't be extending through.
Is that recently changed?
No, there may have been some confusion. There's a proposed additional lots on 136, but due to some conservation easements, it can't be a part of the development. So they will be similar, but it's not going to be. It'll be later down the road, and not a part of this development.
Mayor, can I add something to that?
Yes, sir.
My name's David Potts. My wife and I just bought 175 acres from Wildcat Timber last year across the street, and we're currently got a building permit and we're under construction of a new home. But my issue is I don't have any power, and my power runs through this neighborhood, or comes through their property to get to my neighborhood. So we're in dire need of power. My neighbors, nice as they can be, have made it very, very outspoken about the Emclo Power doesn't have right of way to the county to get down Fisher Creek Road to run my power, and I'll never have power because they're not allowing them to come down the street. So I don't have any power unless these guys can build this. And I'm sitting in your seat. I'm a city councilman in Woodstock, and we see a different type of growth. This is my opinion. This is a great land use, large lot. Good thing, good tax base, nice suitable houses. I'm sure for the price they're going to charge for those lots. And I urge you guys, if y'all get a chance, to think about us being isolated or island out. We're the most northern piece of property in Talking Rock, and without this property, we won't have power. So this development helps us in a big way.
So I'm gonna leave this out on the table here, just if you care to look at it, and I'll stick around and answer the questions after.
Questions from the council? Okay. David, what are the next steps? You guys are gonna be submitting your permits?
Yes. So they're coming to planning and zoning and then go through just the review process, for comments, and from there we'll be getting started.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, lastly, just publicly, during the working groups and working with Buffy, we've had some issues with the waste management, our situation with our local trash can that's behind the building, adjacent to the building. I wanted to put this on here because I'm asking the citizens of the town to be cognizant of the usage of this. We've had this going on for at least a couple years now, if not longer. And it was a great thing that Randy Banks had set up a few years ago for us to have trash receptacles down here, and then some of the adjacent neighborhoods. Some of the issues that we had was we had a contract that we had a set price. That price has increased for some reason. We're working to see where we can get an agreement or an understanding of what we've had for the contract and make sure that continues. But one of the issues that they're doing with us is they're finding us for overages. So that has been going on for the last few months, and we need to minimize that because that's extra cost for the town that we did not budget for, or approve for, or discuss. So we'd like to minimize those. So during our working group, there was a discussion about seeing if we can get with the local representative to see if we can lock the tops to minimize that, because that is a luxury. So it's for the folks here in the town and anybody else that's adjacent to it that's still in the town limits to be able to utilize that, but we can't abuse it. If we do, we're going to have to see what we could do in the future for that. But I just wanted to publicly say that we're taking care of this, but just be cognizant that I was just thinking about maybe we'll post another sign, but then we could do the locks to see what we could do. Any questions or comments? Any suggestions would really help out. I haven't seen this be a systemic problem to this point. Some of the local folks here that have businesses here, if you believe that it is, let us know. Any recommendations, we're just trying to improve it, but we're definitely not wanting to pay extra fines for it. So, okay. Anything else? All right, that's all I have for this meeting. I do apologize that it was so short. I do apologize that we didn't have it last month. We are trying to do it reoccurring, so we'll continue on that. Any questions, comments from anybody? Okay. Do I have a motion?
If you're gonna do everything by the books, why is it that the brewery's operating without a local alcohol license?
You have to talk to them.
No, it's up to you, because they have to apply through the clerk's office.
Thank you.
And they are not in compliance with that, with the alcohol ordinance.
Okay.
May I ask why, when you accuse me of taking funds from the town, why are you writing checks from the HOA to pay for work that's done on your personal property up at Meadowlands? Jason Bell, he questioned you about a check you wrote him, and he took it and showed it to his boss. You told him you were gonna reimburse, so
I don't know who Jason Bell is, but
he's might cut the trees on your property for you.
okay. Anything else?
And if anybody wants his number, I'll be glad to give it to you.
Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
Second? Thank you. Appreciate it.
All in favor?
All in favor?